Story 1. Confidence and kindness. Looks may catch your eye, but how she carries herself and treats others is what really sticks. Story 2. Looks matter, of course, but they are not as important as how she carries herself. This includes confidence, playfulness, and outright letting the man know you are into him if he does not already know. Everyone has something to offer if they put it on the table. Yes, I am a man. Story 3. A woman who knows her worth and is a decent human being. Story 4. The other day my girlfriend, with whom I have lived for 3 years, was in the next room telling me about something random while I was cleaning the kitchen. I suddenly felt overwhelmed by how completely home it felt. She was so innocent of it all that I had to pause everything and adore her. Story 5. When she is clearly attracted to me, I am no Brad Pitt, not by a long shot. My best feature is my personality, far more than my physical appearance. But when a woman smiles at me in a certain way, I could walk face first into a brick wall and not even notice it. Story 6. I love when a woman is nerdy. I enjoy nerding out, so having someone match my energy is everything. Talk about Capcom games for an hour, how much of a DC Comics fan you are, and random facts most people would find morbid. I love a nerdy woman. Story 7. Girls look the most attractive when their confidence is calm. Their smile is a little dangerous, and their vibe has that soft, teasing energy. It's never just beauty. It's the attitude that hits harder. Story 8. When she actually puts a little effort into showing she appreciates you, it makes a big difference. I am not talking about gifts, sex, or anything like that. An unsolicited hug or a word of affirmation every once in a while means a lot to me. Story 9. Being able to express emotions and not interpreting everything as a personal attack when someone wants to grow with you. Story 10. Her knowledge of Japanese pachinko parlors in light of the current economy. Her oddly competitive Pokemon card collection. Her fashion sense, which looks like she got dressed during a power outage. Her dance ability, which peaks after 2 sodas, and her low-key bloodlust. The full package. Story 11. For me, it's her femininity. I am so attracted to the feminine moments a woman has. She can and should be strong, confident, and alpha at work. I appreciate that too. But when she becomes girly at home, spending time on hair and makeup, flirting with me, or shopping and trying on pretty dresses just to feel sexy, I swoon. Story 12. Aside from physical features, she has a strong sense of humor and excellent comedic timing. Conversationally, we can connect about any subject, and she makes callbacks to earlier conversations with puns and playful absurdity. Story 13. I had a health issue that caused me to go from thin to fat and back to thin. All men care about how thin you are. Do not let them fool you. It is 100% about how fat you are. Story 14. Simply being herself. She is the most perfect person to ever exist in this universe. Respectful, kind, and hardworking. Honestly, I could go on and on. I am truly blessed. Story 15. Classy, witty, and intelligent. There is something special about the pursuit. Clever banter, a refined appearance, and meaningful conversation. Story 16. I find women who care about their hygiene and personal upkeep very attractive. Story 17. Being kind and friendly, with slight imperfections, is what makes us unique. Story 18. She prefers to wear her hair up in a bun or ponytail. Story 19. When I come home from a terrible day at work, she is happy to see me. Story 20. I love confident women who have a strong mind and a clear sense of self. Story 21. I'll say something physical since people often mention the obvious parts of being a good person and so on. My initial attraction is a pretty face, nice teeth, and well-groomed eyebrows. Story 22. When she is into me and takes care of her health. Story 23. Attractive but humble and self-aware. She does not let things go to her head. Story 24. Being genuine and confident in who she is attractive, and I have always found good posture appealing. Story 25. Genuine kindness. Chalk it up to getting older. Nothing is hotter than a warm, maternal instinct to be kind and understanding toward other people. A lack of that can make the most physically beautiful woman instantly unattractive. Story 26. Just stop asking what makes her attractive. Figure out why you even need her attention in the first place. Story 27. Good sense of humor, emotional intelligence, and ambition. Story 28. When she's herself, not the "I'm not like other girls" version she rehearsed in the mirror. Story 29. Kindness. Just be nice, please. That applies to everyone. Story 30. When it comes to personality, she could be the most beautiful girl in the world, but if she treats everyone like shit, it does not mean anything. Story 31. She has her own agenda but also makes me feel as if I am interesting. Story 32. Be nice. Most women try to compete or just create chaos and argue for no reason. Nobody likes coming home to moodiness. Story 33. For me, it is being able to have intellectual conversations. Story 34. Class, passion, courage, self-belief, and the willingness to go after what you want are very attractive. Not recording TikTok videos is a bonus. Story 35. Personality. She is smart, cares about her education, treats people with respect, especially waiters and baristas, has good manners, and is genuine. Physically, I am drawn to her smile and eyes, and I am a sucker for a belly piercing. She should go to the gym or be willing to work out with me. That would be amazing. Story 36. Personality, compassionate empathy, creativity, softness, assertiveness, and a passion for the arts. Actively creative and passionate about the arts, including photography, videography, cinematography, writing, drawing, and painting. Introspective extroversion. I tend to prefer thinner women with deeper yet soft voices and a healthy appearance. I tend to prefer sobriety, with few exceptions when personality fully aligns with my values. She does not have or want children but loves them nonetheless. I am emotionally attracted to women who love dressing up, whether in fine clothing or in costumes and cosplay, and who enjoy dressing me up however brings them joy, because I also enjoy clothing expression but rarely devote resources to it. Story 37. There is no exquisite beauty without some strangeness in the proportion. Poe. Every woman has her own charm. You just have to know where to look for it. Scotty. There is no one thing. Story 38. Looks, then personality, then character. Looks will attract me. Personality will keep me. Character will make me fall in love. Story 39. I am gay, but there are women I would be happy to marry, especially if we did not have sex. Zoe Saldana, for example. Story 40. Possessing qualities and features that attract one more than others. Story 41. In my opinion, it's girls who strike a good balance between looking pretty and being honest, so they do not seem to be putting on a performance. Sometimes a girl tries to look so attractive that it feels fake. Story 42. A thin waist complements breasts and buttocks, whether large or small. Story 43. Her genuine femininity, not masculine woke boss babe nonsense. Story 44. Being excessively or inappropriately cerebral is irresistible. Story 45. Physically, a cute face and curves. I particularly like when a woman wears tights and has a firm, curvy body. Personality. Enjoys laughing and can discuss deep topics instead of repeatedly saying "I do not know." Story 46. Sorry, I cannot assist with requests that demean a protected group. I can provide a respectful revision. Femininity first and foremost. A woman's personality, attitude, and default demeanor should reflect a feminine presence. Her appearance does not determine that. Too often people focus on physical attributes and tolerate poor behavior just to be with someone they find attractive. I prefer someone who is genuinely feminine and kind over someone who is conventionally attractive but unkind. When makeup is removed, there may not be as much difference in appearance as expected. Story 47. People used to fight wars over a beautiful face. They still do to some extent. Story 48. Vision and imagination combine to create her own unique intellect that is not exclusively or primarily defined by book smarts. Honesty and authenticity. A woman does not have to tell you everything and has the right to keep some things close to the vest until she determines a man is trustworthy. I appreciate when a woman takes the chance to be honest about what she chooses to share. She does not owe me everything, especially when we are first getting acquainted. But when she dares to share, it is a beautiful thing. Her voice matters. I could listen to a woman talk all day, especially when she is speaking about something she truly believes in or that is important to her. Physically, brown eyes and a sincere smile. I prefer Black or African women. Story 49. When my wife acknowledges and appreciates what I do for my family. Story 50. I love all the one-word answers in the comments. They show how these guys imagine that trait in a girl's smile and live their lives chasing it. By the way, mine is innocence. Story 51. Natural looks. Listen to what I have to say. I like to have two-way communication on any matter. Story 52. I'm attracted when she is confident in herself and excited about what's next. Story 53. The things that make you feel insecure do not bother her in any way. She is happy with you just as you are. Story 54. If you have a sense of humor and know how to take life with ease and grace, you are 1,000 steps ahead. Nobody wants to be with someone who is boring or constantly corrects you. Story 55. A depth greater than surface attraction. An interest in someone that goes beyond the physical. Story 56. When she gets mad at other players in Fortnite and reports them for hacking, especially when she trash talks, it makes my heart glow. Story 57. The same applies to everyone, I would say. Authenticity, integrity, and intelligence. Story 58. Confidence. I dated a heavier, curvy woman who wore whatever she wanted. She loved who she was, and she was confident and comfortable in her body. It was the best thing. I have also dated women who were not confident in themselves or in how they presented themselves to the world, and it is a bummer when a woman does not hold herself up. Love yourself. Story 59. When they do not complain about everything, that is super hot. Story 60. A genuine, warm, friendly woman who doesn't play games and has no social media presence is instantly more attractive. Loving video games, board and card games, Lego bricks, or any combination of these also increases her attractiveness. Story 61. When she has a calm vibe, peaceful, grounded, and not chaotic, her energy is unbeatable. Story 62. Not being manipulative or seeking attention from other men. Story 63. I am going to sort by controversial to get truthful answers. Story 64. Be a genuinely good person and let the radiance shine through. Story 65. Physically, the breasts. More important is being able to talk about interesting subjects and having an active imagination. I have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, so it would be nice to nerd out with someone who enjoys learning random facts. I also like when a woman teaches me something and gets excited about it. Someone who is confident and tries to look on the bright side would be great. It is too easy to focus on the negatives of everything. Story 66. I just left the most attractive woman I have ever been with. She was the type who was constantly hit on by both men and women. Once, when I stepped to the front to ask when our table would be ready, I was gone for about 2 minutes and a man approached her and tried to get her number. Another time, as we crossed the street, a group of girls showered her with compliments right in the middle of the street, laughing out loud. But she was cruel. If she did not get her way, there was hell to pay. She would break things, degrade me, and make fun of my ailing father, who has cancer and kidney disease. She told me to kill myself and assaulted me. When I tried to leave, she would block my path and try to goad me into hitting her. She was a financial drain as well. She constantly compared me to exes and others and reminded me regularly how easily I could be replaced. She did not start showing this side until after we moved in together and signed a lease. She waited until the emotional hooks were in and we were bound in some way. Then she slowly revealed this side. It sounds so simple when someone just tells you the toxic highlights, but it happens insidiously. In short, what I find attractive now above all else is kindness. I would never want to be with my ex again. She is a physical 10, but as a person she was awful. Story 67. Her genuine smile shows just how much she likes you. Story 68. I think it was summed up in the song Rich Dumb Young Nymphomaniac, a true classic. Story 69. She is goofy and not afraid to be who she wants to be in a world where everyone is trying to be someone else. She stands by her own moral code. Story 70. The simplest answer needs a not safe for work flag. The real answer is that our tastes tend to be as varied, as complex, or as shallow as we are. Story 71. Not being revolted by my appearance and not leaving when I get close. A girl willing to communicate with me in any way. Wishful thinking. Story 72. I am going to set aside personality and behavior as separate considerations. If we consider only physical muscles, as someone who works out a lot, seeing muscles on a woman is a huge turn-on. Story 73. A down-to-earth, kind personality, a good sense of humor, and a warm disposition. Story 74. If she only seeks the truth and does not talk about people when they are absent, that does it for me. Story 75. For me, kindness and confidence are important. I love a woman who will talk your ear off. Physically, cleanliness and a pleasant scent are a must. Story 76. This is subjective. For some it is seriousness. For others, innocence. For others, playfulness. For me personally, it is complicated. Story 77. The way she carries herself says a lot. For me, it is mainly kindness. Story 78. When she is mean to me and gaslights me, I have a thing for bad girls. It is unhealthy. I have discussed it at length in therapy over the years, but I have accepted and embraced it. If she is not cheating on me and not gaslighting me, she is not the right girl for me. The romance is that, even though she behaves that way, there is something safe and secure about me that draws her back. I am like the nice, safe husband figure, but she still gets that raw, animalistic feeling of being desired and wanted even though she is spoken for. She gets to misbehave, and if any bulls are lucky enough, they might get more than just flirting from her. Bonus points if she gives them things she will not give me and then brags about it and tries to make me jealous. That makes our sex life more intense because I feel like I am competing, trying to prove that I can satisfy her better than her bulls. I get so turned on at the thought of bulls with much larger penises not having to work as hard and her simply giving it to them while she makes me work so hard for just a little affection. I love the competition and knowing I am given the opportunity to worship her every day, in and out of the bedroom. Story 79. Not being a self-absorbed, narcissistic, money-hungry, lying, cheating, overgrown sorority girl. Story 80. She was genuinely kind and made me feel wanted. Her eyes did not need to be a unique color. My ex had brown eyes. I deleted all the pictures I had of her, but I still remember her large, beautiful brown eyes. Good makeup and eyeliner enhanced her beauty. Story 81. When she talks about something she is genuinely passionate about, her eyes light up. That energy is unmatched. Story 82. Hey, original poster. 49-year-old married father of 2 here. The things that made me fall for my wife are as follows. Kindness, education, independence. Also the small matter of a banging rack and a chunky thick booty that do not quit. Story 83. It depends on whether I am in the mindset of finding a woman to hook up with or to date. In either scenario, I prefer women who dress more modestly. If I am only looking to hook up, I do not mind as much if she dresses revealingly, but my attraction to her as a potential partner decreases significantly. Other things that make a woman attractive to me are avoiding attention-seeking behavior, appearing sincere, not displaying a domineering boss-like attitude, not appearing to have a large ego, not seeming selfish, and having a more submissive demeanor. Story 84. Very physically attractive women have most likely spent most of their lives being leered at, lusted over, creeped on, and praised by men wherever they turn. I do not mean this as an insult. It is an experience men cannot fully comprehend. Coming out of that as down to earth and self-aware and having other things on which to build your character is very attractive. When I was attractive as a young man, before I became overweight, I was very full of myself, and looking back I cringe at how much of that came through in my personality. I did not have much to offer the people I tried to date or hook up with besides thinking I was the best. I remember a time a woman I was dating called me a himbo. I was kind of hurt by it, but over time I understood why. I have been humbled a lot in the last few years. Beauty is temporary and will fade, and there needs to be something underneath it. Seems fairly obvious, but I do not know. Story 85, a pretty face to be honest. Large breasts and buttocks are a bonus and make it even better. Character-wise, humor is very important. Story 86. Aside from the obvious, it helps when someone deeply cares and wants sex to be good. Some people simply do not value that, and it is unfortunate. But a hot woman who wants to rock your world is thrilling. Story 87. Someone who is kind and understanding, not afraid of deep conversations, loyal and supportive, and who shows decency and respect for themselves and for others. Story 88. Kind of a silly answer, but a ponytail through the back of a ball cap. Story 89. She is working on becoming successful herself instead of relying on every man in the universe to find a wealthy partner. Story 90. For me, she's more attractive when she drops her guard and just acts like herself, without putting on a front or pretending. It makes me happy knowing she's comfortable and relaxed around me. Story 91. Long hair, a fit body, youthful facial fullness, and full lips. Pleasant, attentive, and sweet-mannered. Story 92. Positivity. There is nothing more attractive than a girl who can laugh even in rough times. She makes life a lot cooler. Story 93. Confidence, respect, and kindness. They all come in many different forms. They can even be smart. Story 94. I'll echo the top post. Kindness. I'm with my current partner because she was always nice to people and tried to include others. If we were hanging out, she would be the first to invite friends to join us. We were both dating other people when we met. The opposite of kindness is meanness. I hate mean people. I don't think there is ever a good reason to be mean. Story 95. Kindness, communication, and understanding. We are all going through it. A woman who can be there for you when you are there for her is worth more than anything in this life. Story 96. Active listening, remembering details, and like-mindedness. Story 97. For me, when a woman holds the door open for other people, I do not see it often, not going to lie, but when she does, it is incredibly attractive to me. Story 98. Intelligence, emotional maturity, and loyalty matter more than looks any day. Story 99. Kindness, intelligence, and humor. I also think girls who take good care of themselves are very attractive. Story 100. I admire intelligence. I love seeing a woman who knows what she is doing, who acts in her own best interest, and who appears intelligent, especially if she is at the top of her class or education. Story 101. Looks, loyalty, and kindness in that order. Everything else is nice to have. Story 102. When it feels like they genuinely want a conversation instead of a stale one. Story 103. It is a three-way tie between face, body, and personality for me. I think I am about a 7, so if she has 2 of the 3 traits I mentioned, I am in. Story 104. Authenticity is just being herself without trying to fit into someone else's mold. Story 105. This is a nuanced question. We can compare a simple summer dress with a pretty figure and face to a metal-studded leather goth woman. Both are equally beautiful, whether bold, quiet and submissive, or unintelligent. Comes down to breasts. Story 106. You seem similar to me in personality. I want to know how you ended up that way. Story 107. Nice hair. I especially enjoy it when they wear it in different styles. Up, down, curled, in a ponytail, or in pigtails. Story 108. Audrey Hepburn once said, "Happy girls are the prettiest girls." Story 109. To me, it is how people treat others. If someone is going to be very nice to a person but speaks poorly about them behind their back, how would you know they are not doing the same to you? Story 110. Someone a little rough around the edges, enough to remind me that she is a person like me. Pleasant, kind, diligent, patient, an animal lover, and humble. Someone who does not take herself too seriously but can carry herself with an unyielding desire to learn, discuss, and understand things both familiar and foreign. Someone who can hold her own and who is just a touch of seductive danger. In appearance, I am a sucker for long hair and for eyes that feel like they could engulf and thaw the coldest of hearts. Story 111. Intelligence, physical fitness, and the ability to cope when she doesn't get her way. Story 112. Confidence, a natural appearance, and a good sense of humor. I don't like makeup. Story 113. I am a big fan of shy girls. Consider her eyes and the way she looks at you. Story 114. It is obvious that beauty and youth are the main factors, though no one is willing to admit it here. People may say they prefer funny, quirky, smart, or confident women with nice smiles, but when you look at the women they date, they are all attractive. Story 115. Who a woman is on the inside makes her most attractive. I have met several women who were physically beautiful, but as I got to know them, they became unattractive to me because they were self-absorbed, concerned only with their looks and materialistic. On the other hand, I have met women who were not as gifted with outward beauty but were extremely beautiful to me because of their kindness, consideration, and love for others. A truly beautiful woman has substance and does not rely solely on her outer appearance. Not all men think that way, but those who focus only on looks often end up divorced because outer beauty is fleeting and they move on to the next attractive person. I have been married to the most beautiful woman I have ever met for 40 years and would not trade her for anyone. She is kind, loving, and intelligent, and I am grateful for every day we have shared. I hope she outlives me, because I cannot imagine life without her. Story 116. Intelligent, funny, confident, kind, direct, decisive, and empathetic. Story 117. Be natural. No unusual hair colors or septum piercings. If you are not comfortable in your own skin, you will never be comfortable with anyone. Story 118. Confidence, a sense of humor, and avoiding getting caught up in stupid drama. Story 119. When she is her authentic self and feels comfortable around others, and when she has a kind heart. Story 120. Attitude is very important. Some women can be physically attractive, but their personality is so unpleasant that you do not feel attracted to them. When they speak, you want to get away. Other women may be average-looking but have an attractive attitude that makes you want to know more. Story 121. Physically, to be honest, what she wears matters. A nice outfit can elevate a girl's appearance. A t-shirt and jeans look is very attractive to me, though that might just be my kink showing. Mentally, she needs to be understanding and friendly. As long as she cares about me and my interests, that is what makes a girl attractive to me. Story 122. I never really thought about that. I went by the vibes, but I guess the eyes. Story 123. A gentle soul, a pure heart, and a strong desire to be a caregiver to all. She loves babies and children, is humble, frugal, kind, fit, caring, forgiving, faithful, and filled with faith. When all these traits come together, you have the most beautiful person you have ever been with. I am so happy I married her 50 years ago. Story 124. Femininity, not promiscuity. I know a lot of people get confused between the two. Story 125. The thigh gap. There is nothing more intoxicating than the clear absence of a penis. Story 126. A pretty face and a hot body are all in the eye of the beholder. Men are primarily attracted to physical appearance. Story 127. A caring personality shows that a woman was raised well. My partner is the most supportive and caring person in the world. She is close to both of her parents. Do not accept trauma-based excuses for selfish behavior. Remember that you should honor a woman with care and love in every way possible. Observe how she treats others, including her parents, siblings, friends, and employees. If she treats a worker badly, she will eventually treat you badly as the initial powerful love fades. Love responsibly. Story 128. Farming for upvotes with a cliché-sounding, appealing, knowledgeable tone while avoiding sounding too cocky. The ultimate charm mixologist. Direct messaging every woman who likes quippy, value-laden comments like a true Redditor. Story 129. Looks come first. That's the honest answer, not a pandering one. After that, you become more invested because she is fun and pays attention to you. There is a right mix. She is beautiful. She is enjoyable. You feel comfortable, and she understands you. When that happens naturally, you become fully committed. Story 130. Attitude. Nothing is uglier than a bitch. I don't care how attractive she is. There is a man somewhere who hates her guts and is glad she is out of his life. Story 131. Marketing campaigns would suggest that it is all dependent on the fashion industry and cosmetic products. Story 132. Dependability, responsibility, virginity, and most importantly, love and care for you and your future children. No buts, no ifs, no lies, no mercy. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.